day, everybody. Welcome to the Elliot Show. This is Tipene, and I am Missy. Yeah. Right, so, brother, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about the ketogenic diet principle. I'm going to talk to you about what it is and what it's not. What the ketogenic diet is a high-fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrate approach. Now, the amount of fat that you need to be consuming on this particular regime is probably in the range of about 2 to 3 grams of fat per kg of body weight. Ideally, you don't want to be taking in any more than 1.5 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. For myself, I'll only take in probably 1 gram of protein per kg of body weight, and I'm taking in probably 2 grams of fat per kilo of body weight, and probably 0.5 grams of carbohydrates per kg of body weight. Now, the thing is this: you need to be consuming a large amount of fat, and the reason why I say that is so that your body can go into ketosis a lot easier. If you don't consume enough fat when you're on this diet strategy, your body will find it extremely difficult to go into ketosis. Now, the process of ketosis is this. It's when your body stops using carbohydrates as a main fuel source and taps into fat as a fuel source. And it goes into a process called ketosis, meaning it turns that fat into ketone energy. All right? Now, the thing is, if you're consuming too much protein on a ketogenic diet, your body will convert that excess protein into glucose, and it's done through a process called gluconeogenesis. Now, that's when your body converts amino acids into energy. Now, the thing is this: if you're consuming a large amount of fat and you're consuming a large amount of protein, your body is not going to go into ketosis. It's not going to utilize that fat that you're consuming. It's not going to turn it into energy. All right? It's more than likely it's going to store it, because what's going to happen is because of the excess protein, your body's going to convert that into glucose, and it's going to use that first. Right? So, in order to combat this, you need to have your protein. There's a fine line between too much protein and not enough protein. Now, yes, you need enough protein to rebuild muscle tissue, right? Yes, you do. And you need enough protein for hair replenishment, hair growth, nails, skin, all of this sort of stuff, all right? Yep, admittedly, you do need all of that. But you don't need to be consuming so much protein that it's going to convert that excess protein into energy, all right? You don't want to be doing that. You want to be tapping into your fat stores, all right? So there's a lot of people out there that use amino acids. They add amino acid powder to their water. I would recommend it. It's not my recommendation. I would say stop doing it. If you're one of those people out there that uses amino acids in your water and you're wondering why the ketogenic diet isn't working, that's probably why, all right? And the reason is this: amino acids, when you add amino acids to your diet, right, when you're on keto, you're going to spike your insulin. You're going to spike your insulin levels. That's the last thing you want to do on a ketogenic diet, is spike your insulin, all right? Because amino acids act like a simple sugar, okay? This is not shit that I've made up. This is not stuff that I've made up, all right? This is a fact, all right? I don't talk fiction. I talk in fact, all right? Now, another thing is this: try to use natural sources of protein, okay? Such as eggs, fish, chicken, and meat, right? Another thing is this: do not eat protein in the absence of fat when you're on the ketogenic diet.
Yes.
All right, and I'll tell you why. Protein still has this insulin spiking potential. Still has insulin spiking potential. All right. Now, in order to negate that, you need to consume some fat with that protein source because it slows down the absorption into the bloodstream. Okay, into the body. So if you do that, right, in essence, you're not going to get a huge insulin spike. Now, admittedly, carbohydrates spike the insulin, right, a lot more than protein does. But that's not to say that protein doesn't have the same effect, all right? Now, like I said previously, in order to negate that effect, the insulin, because you don't want to spike the insulin. Because if you're spiking your insulin, what happens? What happens, right? You're gonna go into fat storing mode. That's not what you want to be doing, okay? So you want to keep your insulin levels steady throughout the day, okay? So in order to do that, when you're on keto, always consume your protein with some form of fat, okay? Now another point I want to make is this. Yes, you can. There's a point where you can eat not enough protein. Not enough fat, right? And it stops your body from going into ketosis because you're not consuming enough fat. But you can also get a detrimental effect by consuming too much fat. Now, the thing is this. If you consume too much fat, now this is an individual thing, all right? And everybody's different. This is something that I can't tell you. This is something that you're going to have to figure out for yourself. Now, if you're consuming too much fat, on the ketogenic diet, too much dietary fat, it's going to prevent your body from tapping into your stored body fat, the energy that's stored on your body, the fat on your body. So everything needs to be balanced correctly for that particular individual, okay? So what works for me may not necessarily work for you, all right? So everybody's different, but the principle is pretty much the same, okay? Now, another thing is this. Try not to use whey protein. Try not to do it when you're on keto, okay? It's quite a difficult one to explain. It's not. Whey protein, in a nutshell, spikes your insulin, the same as amino acids do, okay? And like I've said before, you don't need to be doing this while you're on keto, okay? You want your blood sugars to be steady and constant, you know. So if you're not losing fat, if you're on keto and you're not losing fat, you're either consuming too much fat, you're either consuming not enough fat, you could be consuming too much dietary protein. It could be because of your too much whey protein shakes that spikes the insulin, and too much amino acids added to your water, too much of that. You want to keep everything natural, okay? Now, the thing is, when people do keto, they tend to get afraid of fat, consuming too much fat. Now, here's the beautiful thing about fat. It's hormone neutral.
Yes.
Fat is hormone neutral. Now, what that means is this. It means that it doesn't cause a hormonal response in the body. Carbohydrates cause a hormonal response in the body, right? By increasing insulin, by raising your insulin levels in the blood. Protein can have a similar effect, but not to the same degree, okay? So it's safer with protein. But if you're consuming too much protein on a ketogenic diet, you're not going to go into ketosis, all right? So if you're one of those people that think you're doing keto and you're taking too much protein, you're taking too much amino acids, you're doing too much of this and too much of that, just listen to what I'm saying, all right? I've been in this game for 27 years, all right? I'm 40 years old, okay? I've been doing all this research since I was 13 years old, all right? I read, I research, I check the facts. I don't talk fiction, all right? You know, and I'm the sort of person that doesn't want to give you misinformation. I want to give you the correct information, you know? So, yeah, I mean, as long as you follow these principles, as long as you take in what I'm saying, just apply some of them. Just apply some of it to your own situation. And I guarantee you things are going to change. I guarantee you'll see the scale change, you'll see your waist size change, all of these things. You know, I know because the things that I'm telling you, the mistakes that I'm telling you, I've made the same mistakes. So for me, it was through trial and error, and it took a long time for me to figure all this out, you know, through using myself as a guinea pig. Now, I'm trying to save you all the heartache and pain and all the hassle, right? I went through all of that with you, okay? Oh, before I forget, when you're on keto, you have a tendency to maybe get cramps a lot easier than some of them people who do not consume, that consume a lot of carbohydrates. Now, here's one thing I need to tell you about sodium. Eat a lot of sodium when you're on keto. Yes, that's right. That's right. Eat a lot of salt when you're on keto. And I'll tell you why.
Good salt?
Yep, rock salt,
Himalayan?
iodized salt. Just really good quality, consume a really good quality sodium product, salt product. Now, sodium will help to prevent you from getting cramps, right? But not only that, it acts like a pump in the muscles. So what it does, in the absence of carbohydrates, right, it draws in fluid. It draws fluid into the muscle cell. That's what it does. So if the sodium is drawing water into the muscle cell, it's giving it more leverage. It's giving your muscles more leverage and more volume. Now here's the thing: when the body starts to deflate, in a sense, the muscles start to deflate, the body starts to panic, and the body will panic, and what it'll do is this: it'll send a hormonal response to say, stop losing fat, start storing fat. Now, when you're on keto, you're not consuming enough carbohydrates, all right? So that pump, you're not going to get that pump. But in order to keep that pump going and that volumization in the muscles, you need to be consuming a lot of salt. And I mean a shitload of salt, a lot of salt, okay? So for me, I probably take in 4 to 5 teaspoons a day of salt. That's 20 to 25,000 milligrams a day. Oh, I should be having a heart attack, right? My face should be bloated. I should be like a big puffball, right? Well, isn't that what you've been taught? Like, isn't that what your university lecturer told you? Or, you know, that's what's going to happen if you consume too much salt? You're going to have a heart attack and die? No, it's false. It's not true. All right? It's not true. It's not true. All right? No. So, this is my recommendation. Eat a lot of salt. All right? Consume heaps of it, you know, with your meals. All right? Another point that I need to make is, do not combine fat with carbohydrates. That's the worst thing you could ever do. You're giving your body 2 fuel sources, all right? You just don't do that. That's a no-no. If you're gonna have a high carbohydrate day, right? And some people do it on keto, they carb cycle. If you're gonna have a high carb day, try and make that a low fat day, all right? When you're on a high fat day, try and make that a low carbohydrate day, so your body can only tap into one energy source, all right? So yeah, just these basic things that you need to know, and don't listen to the hype. There's one supplement, actually there's 2 supplements I'd recommend using on keto, and that's L-carnitine. The first one is L-carnitine, because popular belief says this, that L-carnitine transports or turns your body fat into energy, right? And you lose body fat. It's not true. What it does, it actually makes the body utilize dietary fat more efficiently. Okay, and that's what you want to be doing on keto. You want your body to be utilizing the dietary fat that you take and utilizing that and converting that to energy a lot more efficiently. And L-carnitine will do that. Magnesium is probably the next best supplement to that, because it'll help to prevent getting cramps and stuff. So you combine that with a lot of salt, combine that, you know, and you're going to get all the benefits of keto. So yeah. Any questions? Yeah, this has gone on for like 15 minutes.
That's my brother. Wow. Kia ora whanau. We will tune in next time for the Elliot series of the Missy and Tipene show.
We out, y'all. See ya.
See you.